when our bombardment lifts, what happens is the barrage moves along normally in 100-yard lifts, and there's a certain number of minutes that are allowed for our troops to clear the Germans out of the area that we're fighting in. So in this case, the bombardment, our barrage would lift essentially to that fence line, which is just to our rear, and it would be dwelling there, and it would give us about 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes to clear this ground. There's a sense that the British and Canadian infantry were sheep being led to the slaughter and they just had to march along. That's really not true. They had to be very skilled tactically in order to clear a 100-yard deep lane through this very complex terrain with Germans in bunkers and trenches. This was very hard fighting, and these guys had to know what they were doing. They were very skilled infantry, and they were really executing attacks that looked pretty much like our infantry do today. So they were not simply walking along, and that's a myth that needs to be dispelled. But what would happen is our barrage shifts, we get up and start rushing up the hill. At that same time, the 20 Germans in this bunker know they have only seconds to get out and get set up to defend themselves, or they're likely going to die. So they would come rushing out, 10 guys go this way, 10 guys would come rushing down this trench carrying their heavy machine gun. Their goal would be to get to the end of this and set up the gun in the end of this trench. So somewhere right around here, they would set their machine gun up. Now what's happening is they're not actually shooting at us as we come this way. The aim is that riflemen in that small trench will keep us away. What they're doing is they're firing their machine gun across the front of that other German position. The gun in the other end of our position is firing that way across the other German position. So there's a machine gun on that hill about 100 yards from us, which would be firing across the front here. There's a machine gun on that hill firing across the front. So what's happening is, in our attack, we have to get up here and take out these machine guns, not so that we can get ahead, but so the platoons on our left and right can advance. If they can't get up that hill and take out their machine guns, which are actually firing into our flanks, then our attack is going to fail. And so this is why you have the barrage, which is essentially a line of artillery fire, and it's followed by a line of troops. It's imperative that we all advance at the same time and we all take out these machine guns at the same time. Otherwise, what's going to happen is part of the attack is going to get hung up and we'll be slaughtered in the open by machine guns which are firing into our flanks. So these are really tough positions to take out. And again, the infantry had to be super skilled and very aggressive, very fit, and they have to move fast. If you consider 180 seconds to clear a 100-yard deep lane through these trenches, that is no small task at all. And so what would happen is if we do clear it, we would then keep advancing. We would try and stay over all of these trenches, not get bogged down. Now, one of the problems that the British had on the Somme was they would get past these positions and German soldiers would pop up who had been hidden and start shooting into our backs as we pass. So normally what happens in attacks from late 1916 on is the first wave is intended to just push through. They're followed immediately by guys who were called moppers up. And the moppers up would actually get down into these trenches, throw grenades in all the bunkers, demand the surrender of any Germans that they found, or if necessary, kill any Germans who were still determined to fight even after our troops had pushed forward.